A lot of people seem to think that the top 1% have these secrets that are unknown to everyone else, and how they got there, how they continue to scale is this big secret society, or there's this secret information that only they know. But in reality, it's extremely simple, and I'm going to break down the 3 reasons why the top 1% is successful. Number 1, access to resources. The top 1% often have these resources that they have access to over and above the rest of us, or the rest of the general population, and that is typically education. Now, not necessarily formal education, because I don't really put too much precedence on formal education, but education nonetheless. They continue to educate themselves at a higher level than, say, for example, the rest of the population. And they do this in the forms of mentorships, for example. They have access to these people, or they approach very successful people that they emulate, so that they learn from those successful people and what not to do, so it accelerates their level of success. And financial capital is another thing that they have access to. You've all heard this. It takes money to make money. Very important tip. And as soon as you can gain as much capital, or produce as much capital as you possibly can, it'll allow you to have success. That's something that I did early on. I realized that life will be much easier if I have access to capital, so that when an opportunity comes up, I have resources to employ that capital to take advantage of that opportunity. So number 2 is network. The top 1% tend to have access to networks and influential people who can help them advance in their careers or businesses and their successes or whatever. This kind of plays into number 1 in terms of mentorships, but nonetheless, it plays into the second as well, because networking is attracting those and also going out and putting yourself out there into this sea of wealth of knowledge and with other people, in order to siphon off that knowledge to close the gap, or close the lead time of you becoming successful. It's very important to network. It's very important to learn from other people's mistakes and also learn from their successes. And number 3, and probably the biggest one, is literally risk taking. This is something that I take very serious for myself. I consider myself very good at adopting risk. I've gotten very comfortable with risk over especially the last decade, and this is something that the top 1% are simply often willing to take the risks that other people may not be willing to take, and that will accelerate things for them. Whether it's investing in new businesses or pursuing a new career path, the risk taking can literally lead to greater rewards and opportunities, and like I mentioned, absolutely accelerate the level of your success.